Hi, Mindy, and welcome to Entrepreneurcast. It's so great to have you, especially that I haven't seen you for so long. So thank you for coming tonight to the show with us.
My pleasure, Svietlana.
So before we get going with the business side, why don't you tell us a little bit about who are you outside of your business?
Oh, who am I? I'm a crazy, wild woman with loads of energy, loads of ideas. I'm a serial entrepreneur. Oh, sorry, I'm into business already, you see? It's just part of who I am. I'm a wife, I'm a mother. I am a dual citizen, born in the US, living in the UK now, and I'm a lifelong learner.
So what's your business about, and what inspired you to start it in the first place?
Well, the business I'm known for is the book Midwife. And the book Midwife is one of the most successful book coaching brands in the world. We've helped over 1,000 aspiring authors to actually plan and write and publish their books. So we exist because many people who want to write a book never do it. And some people start, but they don't finish, or they finally finish after like years and years and years, and then they're not sure about it. And so we get rid of all of that, and we partner with the author from the very, very beginning, when it's still kind of in their head, when it's just an idea. And we help them make a really robust plan and a fantastic structure and outline, and then stick to it so the book ends up the right length and the right style and the right content, and everybody's happy. And what inspired me to do this, I come from a marketing background, and when I first started up in business, I I was marketing lots of things, but I got known for marketing books because I had my own book, and so I thought I was going to run a book marketing business. But the problem was that by the time the books got to me, many times, well, I just couldn't market them, shall we say? So I had this very strong thought and put the intention behind it to work with people way before that. I didn't want people to struggle and sort of take risks and come up with something and then it not be very good. So I'd rather partner with them from the very beginning.
That's brilliant. And just out of curiosity, do you actually read all of those books yourself?
It depends what program people are on. So we have 9 or 10 different programs, and my coaches and I will read the books where people are on the higher programs, because obviously that's more of our time and more of our expertise required. So yeah, we offer the choice.
That's awesome. And how many do you think books did you personally read of you from your clients?
Oh, hundreds, hundreds. I mean, I've been doing this 15 years, and I've also run group programs. Normally, I don't get to read all the books, if somebody's doing it in a group, that's a different kind of thing. But all my private clients in the early days and my top clients nowadays, I've read a lot of books.
Yeah, I can imagine. You probably have so much knowledge now
Oh,
from and experience from all those people. It's amazing.
it is amazing. And the most amazing thing is that people know that they know something, but they need to show what they know, and they need to show themselves in a good light. And so all of that is like so overwhelming for them. And then when they actually do it, they're so proud of themselves. And, the books are truly life changing, not just for the author, but obviously for all the readers. It's such a wonderful business to be part of.
Brilliant. So, Mindy, what would you say was your biggest challenge, and how did you manage to overcome it?
My biggest challenge in business.
Yeah.
Well, we run a global team on a virtual basis. So that means that there are people who are near me, and there are people in the UK, but there's people in other countries as well. So some of our staff are in the US, some are in Australia, various places. And so it's managing that and running a lot of the business by email and using cloud applications and things like that. I think we do a pretty good job. There's some team members have never met some of the other team members. Some of them have seen each other on conference calls, but it's tricky. We don't want the overheads of an office with everybody going in there. And, even though that would be great for building, relationships face to face, but we couldn't do it now anyway. Who would come to an office, hundreds of miles from where they live? Nobody.
So how do you manage to, still run it really successfully as you do?
Well, as I say, we use the cloud applications that exist because that's what they're there for. So we must run at least a dozen, if not 15 to 20 different pieces of software that are there for, virtual teams and teams who are spread out geographically. And, we have certain processes in place, and people really should acknowledge emails when they see them so we know they've seen them and that sort of thing. Obvious stuff.
And what would you say was your greatest success in business?
We've won a lot of awards, and we're just thinking about that because there are so many nowadays, and we get a bit disillusioned sometimes when we really think we deserve to win it, and then sometimes we're shortlisted, but we don't win the top award. Sometimes we do, but there was one where we didn't expect to win it, and we were sitting there, and it was an acknowledgement from the region at the east of England. And I was there with my team, and because it was a lunchtime thing, we had about 10 of us around a table. And when they said the company name, I needed them to say it again. I thought, what? Us? And it was so exciting. And it created a great buzz for everybody in the team. And, that we've built on that now. I think that was in 2011 or 12. So that was 5 years ago. But we've, just pushed ourselves to really provide that excellence. Even if we don't win the award, we know we deserve it.
No, that's really great. So always useful as well to have some awards.
It's a lot of work to apply and then, attend all these dinners and the nice dress. It's a hardship.
Amazing. Mindy, where do you come up with your best ideas?
Did you say when?
Where?
Where? Okay, where? Early in the morning. I tend to wake up before my alarm, and if I can just quietly lie in bed and let the thoughts come, get rid of the thoughts that are like, did I pay that bill and that kind of stuff. But the good ideas usually follow those things once you deal with the stuff you're worried about. I also get a lot of ideas when I'm at the gym, when I can't write them down, when I'm cooking, so usually when I'm doing something else.
Well, I actually have similar thing. When I work out, sometimes I have ideas popping up, and then I just have to stop everything and then quickly write it down. So yeah, I can relate to that one. So would you say you have any personal heroes or people that inspire you?
I have a lot of heroes. I have a lot of people I admire. In fact, all the entrepreneurs in the world who have started something without knowing if it was going to be successful, the likes of you and me and all of our friends and colleagues and buddies, people who take those risks and put their pride on the line every day, they're my heroes. And, I've had loads of great mentors, followed and studied with Tony Robbins, and I have a great respect for that man in particular, kind of the founding father of personal development. And, there's just so many, too many to name, but, I just think entrepreneurs are great heroes.
So, Mindy, what would be your top 3 tips and strategies for the listener in business, basically?
Tips and strategies for their life, for their business, for
business, of course, yeah.
Okay. So business. The first thing I would say is when you think you've exhausted all of the possibilities, just push for one more. Be creative, ask a friend, read a book. Don't ever accept that there is no other possibility, because there usually is at least one more. The next thing I would say is treat yourself well, because sometimes other people won't treat you well. Sometimes life won't treat you well, the economy, the government, whatever. So, treat yourself well at least, and then you have at least one raving fan. And the third thing, let's see, be professional. I mean, that can come up and manifest in so many ways. If you make an appointment, keep it. If you get an invitation, say yes or no. Don't make the person wait. If you agree to meet someone, be on time. Don't make the person wait. If someone's done something for you, say thank you, ideally in writing. There's a lot of kind of etiquette and courtesy and things like that make real professionals stand out. It's not really such a great effort to do these things, but many people just forget or don't bother. So those are my best tips.
Obviously, you've been in business for 15 years. That's a long time.
Is it?
I guess for majority of entrepreneurs who, it takes a lot of effort to get started, and, business usually it takes about 3 to 5 years to actually get there or not. So yeah. Obviously you made it. So in such a long time, did you come across any sort of resources that you could advise to us that made your life easier?
Networking groups. So I was a loyal member of BNI. They meet in the morning for breakfast generally, although I think now they have other ones. And I became a director and I set up groups for them. I believed in it so much. Being part of a group that meets regularly is key because people get to know you. Groups where they only meet once a month, it's hard. Because if you miss a few, you might only see people like 8 or 10 times in a year. But the weekly groups are wonderful because it's like a family, and I needed that in the early days. So that was a resource I relied on, and I've seen a lot of members make a lot of money and good friends being part of a BNI group, for example. And, that's working with other people to be successful. So that's always better than trying to do it alone anyway.
Mm. Would you say you've done more business through networking than anything else?
Definitely. I ran a retreat. We run book writing retreats, and I ran one this past month. I ran 2 actually. And in one of them, I was going around the table and thinking, oh, you were referred by somebody. Oh, you were referred. Turned out that every single attendee, without any exception, was referred by someone else, usually someone who's worked with us before. In fact, in every case this time, it was unbelievable. It's really the way to go, because when I pick up the phone and somebody's been referred to us, I don't have to sell to them because my delighted client has done the sales job for me. So we're starting to see that. Of course, we've got the cumulative effect of 15 years of happy customers, 1,000 clients who have been through the program. And, so there's plenty of evidence and plenty of referrals. I would say even when people are starting, they should build, because, that's the best way and the most fun way and the least salesy way to do business.
Wow, that's incredible. I can't believe you have that many referrals. That's just amazing.
Oh, we don't have 1,000 referrals, but I wish, right?
But when you went to a retreat, that you had everyone there.
Every person, yeah.
That's pretty awesome. So Mindy, as lots of successful people, they tend to say that they came across a book at some point that changed their life. Did you have such a book?
The very first personal development book that I ever read was Dr. Scott Peck's The Road Less Traveled. So it's still in print. I don't know what edition, 21st edition or something. I read that in the 1980s. You weren't even born yet, honey. And it was amazing because I'd never read anything like it before. And I then proceeded to read a few more. I then got involved in the industry, listened to Tony Robbins, and, the rest is history. Now, I think personal development is important for any entrepreneur, to keep yourself motivated and keep yourself positive when you're getting a beating from all over.
Also, I obviously know that you are an author yourself. You don't just help other people, but you did it yourself. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your books?
Oh, goodness. Well, I've authored and co-authored 8 books. And the 2 that tend to come out, yeah, true, the ones that I talk about all the time and that show up at all of my speaking events and everything, are 24 Karat Bold, which is a story of thought leadership and a model to follow if people want to be thought leaders. And then I wrote The Thoughtful Leader last year. The purpose of that is really to go beyond thought leadership. So even though, I write about it and speak about it, a lot of people don't understand what it means, or they say, oh, yeah, he's a thought leader. Or, and this is never allowed, I'm a thought leader. And when I hear people calling themselves a thought leader, I'm like, you don't get it. So I wrote The Thoughtful Leader to, go beyond and give a bit more explanation. And people who are interested in this can go a bit deeper. That has proven to be really helpful to open a new conversation in the area of thought leadership, which is getting a bit old now. And
did you co-author the rest of the 6?
No, my very first book was a novel based on a true story. That was mine.
Oh, that's something I didn't know about you.
Yeah. And I co-authored a book with one other author called Your Book in 100 Days, which is about our core, how to start a book, basically. We're going to change the title, I think, but it's basically how to get started. And then I edited and organized 4 anthologies. So, where there's multiple authors, and, I had the concept and provided a chapter and also coordinated and edited those 4. Sorry, 3, and 1 I contributed to.
Brilliant. That's a lot of books.
Yeah, I want to get up to 10. I think it'd be nice to have a double digits,
I don't think you'll ever stop. I think you'll get to 10 and then 20 and then 30 and then 50.
No, there's other things that I like doing besides writing, and I won't just slap a book together. So, because we believe it's really important to put your best foot forward with your best book, I don't think people should just see a book as a business card or something that is just, a marketing tool. It's actually a representation of you. And so, it's got to be done thoughtfully, to use my word again. So I know how much time and effort it takes. So I'm not going to be doing 30 books, I can tell you.
Mindy, can you tell us a little bit about different ways of publishing? I know that people can self-publish, and then they obviously can publish with a publisher. Are there any other ways as well? And what's the benefits of all the different ways?
Well, I'm going to have to give you a very shortened version of this because I can speak for hours on this topic, and I do. Yes, there's self-publishing, which is very accessible, very easy, quick, sometimes free, usually not, but, certainly quick and cheap, but it's fraught with risks. That's what I'll say, because a lot of people don't know what they're doing. There's no quality control in many cases. Those self-publishing platforms don't really care what you put out, and people can waste a lot of time as well. So, entrepreneurs should be really, really careful with that. But then they might not get the book deal they want with the big publisher or the traditional publisher. I believe in independent publishing. I believe in partnership publishing and what I call cooperative publishing, which is a way in the middle. So you can get the publisher doing all the stuff. You can get all the benefits of working with a publisher, but you don't have to take the risk yourself. They're doing everything. And you can control things a bit more. You don't have to put up with, some of these deals that I've heard about where the traditional publisher, just because they've thrown you a bit of money, get to control everything and call all the shots and, hardly give you any royalties and. So, there's a way in the middle, which is what we practice at Panoma Press. And, I think it's really nice for an entrepreneur to have an entrepreneurial publisher. So we might change the category again and call it entrepreneurial publishing, which I have, basically it's partnering with your publisher and each one doing the things that they do best. So letting your publisher handle everything, but there's things only the author can do as well, such as, videos like this and speaking engagements, you can't outsource that. Yeah. Does that help?
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you very much for telling us a little bit more about that. You already obviously achieved so much. So what's next for you? What is your next goal or aim? What are you going towards?
I have 3 businesses that I'm planning to get involved in and launch over the next few years, at least 3. There's a whole bunch of exciting speaking coming up. I do a lot of speaking anyway, but there's some TED Talks and things like that, which any speaker can get excited about. I've always thought one day I would do one, and now 3 or 4 are coming up at the same time, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing. And with that, I really want it to take me to more countries that I've not seen. So I have been to, many places, but there's also many countries I've never been to. And I think that's really kind of sad. I don't have a goal to visit every country in the world, but I would like to carry on traveling, go back to some of my favorite places. I want to go back to Hawaii, South Africa. I want to go back to Australia. I hardly saw anything, never saw New Zealand, and so I think I'll just be traveling around the world, doing my writing and my speaking and my training, and, my various businesses, I can run from my laptop.
Awesome. That sounds pretty amazing.
Yeah, why not?
That's brilliant. Yeah, that sounds like a dream of a lot of entrepreneurs.
Yeah, and you just really have to work up to that. A lot of people think they want it immediately. Well, a lot of people do want, an overnight success, but, you do have to kind of put your dues in. I've worked very, very hard over many years, as you've said, and sometimes, I did think, oh, is this worth it? And, thought for a few seconds about quitting, but no, I could never do it.
You're obviously pretty successful and you have contacts, you know where you're going. But if there is anything that somebody can help you with, let's say, you never know who's listening, right? So if there is someone in the audience who could help you with one of your dreams or goals, who would it be and how can we help you?
Well, I really want to meet Barack and Michelle Obama in person. So if anybody knows them, I just, they have a little more time maybe now. And
I love that.
You said ask, right?
That's brilliant.
Seriously, I think they would get a kick out of having a conversation with me, and you never know what I could do for them, right?
Maybe they can write a book with you. That's right.
Barack is writing his own stuff without any help. I haven't seen Michelle writing yet, though. There's an idea.
Oh, that's brilliant. Cool. Well, we are coming to the wrapping up session.
Oh
no! So soon. But before we say our goodbyes, is there anything else you would like to share with us today?
Just find me and connect with me. It's all about connections. That's how you and I met. We met online first. We then met in person in the Speaking Association. But anybody listening or watching, I'm very friendly and accessible. I don't bite. And occasionally I send other people business and certainly have plenty of advice for them. So apparently I'm kind of a good person to know, and I will accept every invitation. Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. Well, Facebook's going to run out when I hit my number of friends, but certainly Twitter, LinkedIn. Just find me, my name or Book Midwife, and you'll find me, and it would be great to connect.
Brilliant. So the best way is through social media, is that right?
I think so, because, email is just crazy and, things get buried and, I'm swamped with emails. I like social media. I'm on there every single day, mostly Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Never quite got into Instagram or Snapchat. I think maybe I might be too old. Don't know. But, yeah, people can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's such a privilege to have you. And if I know of anyone who can introduce you to Michelle and Barack Obama, obviously.
Yep. I'm very grateful. Thank you in advance.
But thank you so much, and I really look forward to meeting you sometime soon.
See you soon, Svietlana. See you.